So the Philadelphia 76ers take the soul out of the Raptors in Game 3. Joel Embiid gets his revenge in Toronto and caps it off with a game winner. The Sixers look to bring the brooms out on Saturday afternoon. We will break it all down. Let's go. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that bell so you don't miss any of the content. The stream the other night was absolutely insane. We had 3,000 plus live viewers as we watched and counted down those final moments back and forth. Honestly, man, what a classic game. What an instant classic. Respect to the Raptors. I got to give them some respect. They came out with a fighter's punch. This was their best shot. This was their chance. They wanted to hang on. They were hanging on by a thread. They had to win that game. And now the Sixers look to bring the brooms out, man. And to be honest, you know, maybe I just got to start picking this team in 7 because I thought it was going to be a really close series. In fact, I expected this Game 3 to be the Raptors' chance to get back in it, but the Sixers are just too much. And I do fully expect there will be a sweep. I actually think I picked this game 106-101. It ended up being 104-101. I knew it would be gritty. I knew it would be like this. The Raptors would come out and try to hit us with some different things. And to be quite honest with you, the main storyline of the entire game is that the Sixers did not play well, but they still got it done. They still got it done, and that is credit to one man, Joel Embiid. This video is going to be dedicated to Joel Embiid. And I know that this post game is a day late. I apologize for that. Just had a lot going on yesterday. But the stream the other night was insane. We will still be live every game of the series and dropping these post games the day after. But man, what a game. What an instant classic of a game. Even though it's a day late, I still have, emotion out of the roof. There's so much I want to talk about. And this is mainly going to be dedicated to Joel Embiid. First and foremost, look at this, man. Look at this. This is just iconic. This was a legacy shot. This was a shot we will talk about for Embiid's, however many next years for his career. Like, this was a legacy shot. This was a shot heard around the world, okay? And, how sweet is it? Look at this guy. Look at this. Joel Embiid, look behind him. A guy on the floor, on his hands and knees. This is what Joel Embiid did, and I have a lot more to say about him. We'll just talk about everybody else, get that out of the way. The Sixers did not play well. They turned the ball over 24 times. They had, almost 15 or 20 turnovers in the first half. It was sloppy. Again, credit to the Raps. They came out fighting. But the Sixers, like I said in the preview, man, the star talent overcomes the depth here in the playoffs. And Joel is too great. I tried to tell these Raptors fans, honestly, like throughout the preview week, this is a different Joel. You're getting a different Joel. This guy is a different breed. And in 2022, having your center ice the game, it is unreal. It is unreal. I have a lot more to say about that. But, man, let's just look at some of these other things. First and foremost, a tweet from myself. I have never seen a saying like, "Is this the Dagger?" come so full circle. And it's sweet. It's sweet like nectar and honey. It's beautiful. Because for years, we had to take this on the chin from Raptors fans, deservedly so. One of the best shots, the 4-bouncer. And, this was our revenge. Joel Embiid finally got his revenge, his first time back in Toronto in the playoffs. It is just, this whole thing is like a story. It is absolutely beautiful. But the Sixers did not play well for most of this game. They were down 17 points. The Raptors getting a little taste of the Doc Rivers treatment. And I got to give Doc credit, okay? Doc, I apologize for this series at least because you have proven me wrong, and I am never afraid to admit that. You have completely outclassed Nick Nurse. You have outcoached him. I know the Sixers have more talent, but Doc, he's staggering the lineups. He's also not taking James Harden and Joel Embiid off the floor at all. He went finally with Paul Reed. Don't know if we bullied him or what happened or if the organization told him to, but he's rocking with Paul Reed. The rotations have been great. The timing has been great. Doc calls up that last play of the game. He's been sensational. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because we have more rounds to go. But Doc Rivers, you have had this team prepared, and you deserve a lot of credit for this as well. In addition to Doc Rivers, Other guys, can we talk about James Harden? I know it'll be overshadowed. Everything else will, but Harden played great, man. 19 points, 7 for 13 from the field, 10 assists, right? He even got fouled out. And how about Tyrese Maxey, who started off slow in this game, taking over the reins in overtime? That kid just impresses me more every game. 19 points, 8 for 18. Danny Green got heated at one point, but, ended up coming back, hit a couple threes. Tobias didn't have the best offensive game, but Tobias, the one thing going way too far underlooked is his defense right now, okay? I was right about Pascal Siakam in the preview, okay? Siakam cannot be that number one guy. It just is what it is. He's been locked up by Tobias Harris. I'm talking about put in jail by Tobias, and Tobias is just, he's been impressing me a lot, man, on both sides. He deserves a lot of credit. Gary Trent Jr. had a great game. Van Vliet started off okay, but then got really cold. Anunoby had a pretty good game. A lot of these guys stepped up. This was the Raps' best chance, but, that just has to take the life out of them, and I don't see them coming back. I think they're going to get swept in Toronto. In fact, Joel went up to Drake after the game, which is the best part. Drake's getting ready to drop another Sad Boy album at this point. Joel went up to him, if you didn't see the clip, and said, yo, I'm coming for the sweep. The mentality on this guy is insane, and going down the stretch, and even in overtime, this is back and forth. Back and forth. This was an instant classic rivalry game between the Sixers and the Raptors. And that's all I have to say about everybody else. And we will dedicate the rest of this to Joel Embiid. I almost get emotional thinking about this game. I'm not even joking to you because, like I said, this whole journey, this process, no pun intended, this is a story. This is a story in its entirety, right? It's the part where the villain, or you could even say the good guy, comes back and he's battling his demons, and he finally pushes through that wall, through that threshold, and it, hits the climax. And like everything is such a story, right? Joel Embiid started off so bad in this game. He was trying to force things. It looked like a couple years ago back in Toronto, again, where he has his demons, where they've gotten the best of him, one of the two teams that always gets the best of him. And the old Joel Embiid would have sat there at halftime and he would have said, yep, well, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and be stubborn about it. But no, I'm so proud of Joel Embiid. He is a leader. We've wanted to see him become more of a vocal leader. He has. And last year, he was so individually great. By the way, he is the MVP. There is no other telling me at this point. Joel is the MVP. I've been saying it all year. I've been backing it up. And if you haven't seen it with your own damn two eyes, you're not watching. Okay? Don't give me these advanced stats. That is what MVPs do. But anyway, I digress. Joel Embiid, he was so individually great last year. He added so much more to his game. And again, to be able to ice the game in 2022, and first and foremost, in regulation, we try a play, and Joel's kind of isoing at the top, and it doesn't work. Now, do I personally like going back to Joel twice there on the perimeter in a tie game, once in regulation, once in overtime? No. And the crazy thing is that in overtime, with 5 seconds to go, he takes the ball from Max. He kind of has like a brain fart. He doesn't know what to do and gets it poked away. And with 9/10 of a second, Doc Rivers, an excellent call. I actually heard the audio of the draw up there. And Tobias comes and sets the screen and gets Joel open. Do I like the play necessarily? I don't know about going to Joel again on the perimeter, maybe in the paint. But Joel was just that freaking good. And he shut everybody up. He shut that entire country up. He shut that stadium. And this is the Joel Embiid. This is what I'm talking about. The different breed. This guy is different. Okay? Look. Just how we talk about Wilt Chamberlain being so just existentially great in 1960, like how he was so far ahead of his time, that is Joel Embiid. That is Joel. This guy is taking it to different extents, to different limits. He is pushing the boundaries, and he is pretty much making the center position so much more relevant again. And I don't even know what to say. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that this guy is a part of my team, and I get to watch him play, man. And he's just hungry. With all the crap, the drama, everything he has had to go through, he is just so hungry right now. And to win that game, again, the old Embiid probably would have folded. But here in 2022, they're chanting F and B. That Toronto crowd is loud. It's raining through the stadium. And he's just taking it to here, man. He's hearing that. He's going through tit for tat, that little turnaround fade with like a minute to go. He's just going bucket for bucket. And he ends the game with 33, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 for 20 from the field. He had 4 turnovers in the first. He could have got flustered, man. And he comes out and finishes it. It's just unbelievable, man. And again, is this the Dagger? Of course, we're going to poke some fun. But, man, he really got his revenge. He's going to say he didn't, and he did say that. But, you know, this truly was the revenge game. And I'm just so proud of Joel Embiid taking it upon himself and leading, man. And this is the part of the story where he just pushes through. And it was sensational. How about this, man? Joel Embiid's game-winning shot with .9 left. Since 1996, no other Sixers player has hit a game-winning shot in a playoff overtime game with 5 seconds or less remaining. Last Sixer in the playoffs to hit a game winner was Thaddeus Young. How about that? The irony, right? And then also, according to Basketball Reference, Joel's the first 7-footer to ever make a last-second game-winning three in the playoffs. Like, this just doesn't happen. This guy is 20 years ahead of his time. He is literally ahead of his time. When we look back in years down the road, we're going to be talking about Joel Embiid like, what the heck, man? I mean, this guy is just, he's sensational. He really is. Joel also had 18 points in the third quarter, his second highest quarter behind the 19-point quarter he had in Game 2 of the series, in his career. And he just keeps getting better. He's just pushing the boundaries. And at the end of the day, man, I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of Joel Embiid. And, what I have to say overall about this team is that this was a statement win. And listen to me very closely. The Sixers, Philadelphia teams, in fact, like, they don't win those type of games. And throughout the entire live stream, go back and listen to it, I was calm. I was confident for once. Like, how many times have we talked about surrounding Joel Embiid with guys on the floor, one, who can shoot a basketball, can help space it better, and two, that are not afraid to take the reins in crunch time. All right? And I'm not trying to diss anybody individually. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm not saying, like, just to try to diss that person. I'm just talking in general here. Like, the Sixers have finally put guys around them that will take that reign in crunch time, who will shoot the three. And this is the product. This is what we've been waiting to see. Okay, Maxi's been sensational. You can talk about Harden and his numbers. He's been very efficient. And I told you that week off was going to help his body. He looks a lot quicker. He's blown by defenders, not getting as much traps. Why isn't he getting as many traps? Because Nick Nurse can't afford to do that. There's too many scorers. Maxey, Tobias, even guys like Danny Green, right? Better than Thibault because he, draws in that defender in the corner. Like, this is what we've been waiting to see. And Joel Embiid has just been absolutely unbelievable. He is a different breed. And I want to say this. Going back to my point, the Sixers don't win these type of games. And they did. In Toronto, in that environment. And like I said, this game means so much more than just winning that game with that shot. This is just, speaking of Joel's career and how much he has progressed and matured from 2019 to now and led this organization. But this team has the it factor. They do, and I'm going to tell you why, in addition to all that. Because throughout the season, with all the controversy, the drama, this team stuck through it. We never heard guys turning on each other in the locker room this year. We heard, oh, I got his back. Oh, we're focused. We're okay. This team stayed in the top half of the East all year, despite a lot of things that could have turned some people, man. And they're tough. They fight. And that's my favorite part about this team. They fight with each other. Yes, we may need a couple more dogs here and there, but we have guys that are willing to get fired up. And it really seems like these guys mentor each other and they have each other's backs. And of course, we're supposed to beat the Raptors, even though a lot of people were saying it's going to be close. How about Shaq's prediction? It's kind of coming true at this point. He was the only one that said that this would be a sweep. And these guys are just going out, like I said, take the spotlight off us, talk about the other teams. By the way, it's a good thing we waited to do this. A lot of injuries going on right now, right? Luka, even the Bucks, Middleton's out for a couple weeks. So the Sixers could have a path here, man. They could have, if they catch that fire, maybe this is one of those type of runs for this team. And we're going to see what happens. But I'm telling you right now, the Sixers don't win games like that, and they want it. And Joel caps it off, and this team has the it factor. They are dangerous. If they stay healthy and if they keep playing this way, the Sixers are going to be dangerous. But those are just all my thoughts. I could literally talk about this game for 3 hours. I've been fired up for the last 2 days, and I'm ready to sweep the Raptors. One, just to sweep them because that would feel great. And also because I think we need the rest. This just goes back to my main point. I don't know if Joel's going to lose. He's so determined and destined, and he's just great. He is greatness in a nutshell. And this game is a legacy game. It's a game we'll talk about forever, man, in his career down the line. And he was just special. He was just special. And what a way to finish it off. I'm so proud of that guy, and I'm proud of this team. They have been balling their asses off. And we will see if they can finish it off on Saturday. Those are just my thoughts. I want to hear from you. Give me all yours down below in the comments section. How do you feel about this game? You guys have a great one. Give me all your thoughts down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.